Hey, what's going on, guys? Darren Hatch here, and thank you for jumping onto this video. We're going to be going over exactly what an exchange traded fund or an ETF is. It's a newer product that's gained a lot of popularity as of recent, and it's a great way to invest for beginners. And so make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, go check out my other videos that I'm putting out on similar topics. We talk entrepreneurship, investing, and finance, and we want to try to help people get financially free. So let's jump right in. What is an ETF? Now, an ETF, it stands for Exchange Traded Fund. Now, as I've talked about in my other videos, a fund is actually like a big basket of investments. A fund is organized by a company on Wall Street, a financial institution that says, look, we're going to organize this fund where people can invest into it, and we go out and they don't have to worry about picking individual stocks. We go out and we buy those stocks for them and we hold them in the fund. So what they'll do is the companies will go out and they'll say, okay, let's say I like Microsoft, and we really think that Tesla is going to do really well. Sorry, I messed up there, but Tesla, you get the picture. Tesla's going to do really well. Or they say, let's say, I like Uber. We think they're going to be a great company in the future. And we like Zoom because Zoom is doing really well, and with coronavirus and everything, everybody's going to be jumping on. So they go out and they buy these shares in these stocks, and they put them in their fund. Now, what that allows you and I to do as retail people is to be able to go invest in this fund and own a portion, a sliver of the fund. But that allows us to do it without having to go buy Microsoft and buy Uber and buy Tesla and buy a couple shares of Zoom and worry about when's a good time to buy them and sell them and how many should I buy of this one and how many should I buy of that one. These funds do that for you, and so it's a great way for you to be able to have ownership in these different stocks or these different companies without having to do as much work. Now, there's a couple things to focus on when it comes to investing in ETFs. Some of the benefits of ETFs are that, number one, as opposed to like mutual funds, they trade like a stock. They trade live and they trade daily, and so that's kind of the difference between a mutual fund and an ETF. And ETFs only started, I think it was like 10 years ago. They've really gained traction in the last couple of years, and it's kind of the new way to be able to invest because you can buy in anytime throughout the day, and it buys and sells immediately just like a stock does. And then there's no minimums like a mutual fund, and so you're able to just go buy like one share of the stock, or depending on your platform, you can buy fractional shares and so forth. And so you can just buy with little money, you can buy into these ETFs. And so those are two of the huge benefits of ETFs. Now, there's different types of ETFs, just like all funds have different strategies. Different ETFs will have different strategies. They'll be focused on, for example, just tracking the indexes like S&P 500, the Dow, or the NASDAQ. Or they may focus on, look, we like blue chip stocks or large growth cap stocks or small cap stocks or international stocks. So they focus on different aspects. And so when you're doing your research for which ETF to invest in, you need to think for yourself as to what asset class I want to be invested in, what type of stocks that I want to be invested in. And so think about that. The one thing to know as well about ETFs is to look at their fees. These companies, they do this, and the way that they make money is they charge fees. And so different ETFs will have different fees involved. And so the fees will really eat into your compounding growth if they're too high. And so you need to really analyze the different fees that are involved. A lot of times one of the secrets is if you go to your brokerage, like, if you have your brokerage, your investments with Fidelity or Schwab or whatnot, if you go directly to them, they usually have the lower fee options as opposed to going with some big fund from Wall Street or whatnot. And so that's one place to look to be able to find the low fees and find the best deal for you, because if the fees are too high, like I said, over 20 or 30 years, that makes a huge difference on your investment. So ETFs are one of my favorite new investments. There's leveraged ETFs. There's all kinds of different options with ETFs. And I really think they have a huge benefit for people depending on what strategy you're trying to implement. So if you like this video, I am going to be making a video comparing mutual funds and ETFs side by side so that you can see the difference between the two. I already made a video on mutual funds as well if you're interested in learning about mutual funds. But please hit that subscribe button, share my channel with anybody that you think might want to learn more about finance and investing and entrepreneurship. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks, guys.